Hey guys, okay, so we are going to work on an easier way to locate and use intercepts, and it's using a method that we call cover-up method. And to use cover-up method, it has to be in standard form. So it has to be a number x plus a number y equals a constant. Okay, it has to be in standard form. Now, once it's in standard form, to use cover-up method, you just cover up the y and take your constant divided by the coefficient. That gives you your x, and then you can do the same thing to find your y. Cover up the x and take your constant divided by the coefficient. So to find the x-intercept, you're going to take the constant, remember he's the one without the variable, divided by x's coefficient. He's the one in front of x. Okay, then to find your y-intercept, it's the same thing, but now you're just doing y's coefficient. So you're taking the constant divided by y's coefficient. Okay, so on the first example that they give you in the book, it looks like this: 3x plus 4y equals 24. So to find x, you're just taking constant divided by x's coefficient. You're completely ignoring this guy because it's like he's 0, so he's gone. So 24 divided by 3 gives me 8. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the y-intercept, except now I'm going to divide by his coefficient. So constant divided by his coefficient gives me 6. And remember, the reason I can do that is because the x-intercept is like when y is 0, okay? So like the x-intercept on a graph is on the x-axis. It's somewhere on this x-axis. So that means y is 0. For the y-intercept, it's on the y-axis. So that means the x-coordinate is 0. So if they wanted the actual ordered pair, this would have to be 8, 0, because that other value is 0. If they want the ordered pair here, we have the y, the x is 0. Okay, all right, so let's look at one that's not in standard form because they do give us one of those. They give us y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Okay, so he's definitely not in standard form. He's in what we call y equals mx plus b. So we need to get this x over here. So we're going to add him over. Sorry. Okay, I don't care that there's fractions. That's not a big deal to me. Okay, to find x, I'm going to take constant divided by coefficient. Remember, dividing by a fraction is like multiplying by his reciprocal. So now I have 15 over 2. And remember that ordered pair is going to be 15 over 2, 0. If they ask for it, it doesn't look like, it looks like this just simply wants x equals 15 halves, so you can do it either way. And then for the y-intercept, constant divided by, who's in front of that y? Even if I can't see it, a 1. So the y-intercept is 5. Okay, now I will warn you, be careful with signs. Like for instance, they did give us an example that looked like this. Okay, when you go to do y's intercept, 30 divided by negative 6. Negative 6 is that coefficient there, okay? So be careful for anything like that. I think that's basically it. The other thing that they talk about is real life situation, all right? Let's just say that this was my real life situation here, and let's say we were talking, we talked about that 8, 0 would, the x-intercept would be on this axis, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say that we were talking about selling tickets. So the x-axis was adult tickets and the y-axis was kids tickets. Remember what this means. This would mean that at this point, there were 8 adult tickets and 0 kid tickets. Because remember 8, 0? And this would mean there was 0 adult tickets and 6 kid tickets. So if it's a real life situation, you've got to think about if it's on the axis, one of the others is 0. Okay, if it's on his axis, the other value is 0. Okay?